Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the grand finals of this week's Dota 2 Canada Weekly Cup. I am at Wolf Dota. Thanks for tuning in to my Twitch, where I assume everybody's watching. We've got the grand finals coming up for Joy KO Rats, who just won a very long, hard-fought game up against a very strong Naga Siren. And they're going up against, unfortunately, they forgot to tag up or decided not to, the Dire, for lack of a better term. This is going to be the grand final match. These teams competing for $100 in prize money. And just like to give a quick little shout out to Dota 2 Canada Weekly Cup, as well as Xfire, the sponsor. Thank you very much for the support, and very much appreciated. Now, getting quickly into the draft, we've got Tidehunter and Razor banned out for the Dire, and Joy KO Rats, they banned out the Brewmaster and the Lycanthrope. First pick overall was the Jakiro, and Elder Titan for Joy KO Rats, and Skywrath Mage. So they get, I think that Skywrath Mage that they forced the other team into picking was something that they wanted to combo with the Elder Titan. The natural order was very strong, as we saw in the last game. So, gonna try not to talk about that too much. But Jakiro, as we saw as well, did fairly well in the early game and was able to push down. But when it came down to it, just the Naga Siren being the only true core really, really caused some problems for DTF. They just weren't able to finish it out, even though they had some opportunities. It made it tough. Viper was the next pickup for the Dire. I mean, the hero's very strong, not super flashy, but very strong in the early and the mid to semi late. I think he falls off a bit later, but still very strong and excellent at dominating a lane. Zeus was their ban, so they wanted to get rid of that Elder Titan combo, and the Zeus, I think, was used to excellent effect in the last game, constantly scouting out whenever they needed to know where they were, and then just the amount of burst damage that was coming out. So they're banning out heroes based around this Elder Titan, and I think that's a good call, as it worked very well for Joy KO Rats. So looks like some of these guys were watching the last game, which I think is pretty smart. Anytime you're playing in a tournament like this, you should always read up on your opponents as best you can. Centaur banned out by Joy KO Rats, trying to get rid of an offlaner and something that they used before, but also just in general a very powerful hero, commonly picked, so it forces people to do something that maybe isn't quite in their comfort zone and pick something a little bit different.
10 seconds to go.
But we'll have to see. Now, neither team has really shown what they want to do so much. Joy, they could go for the PA again if they wanted to. That's still in the pool. And there's a lot of other hard carries that they could pick if they wanted to. Whereas I think the Dire have to be careful because the Naga Siren was so squishy to the PA in the last game that when you're going against this Elder Titan, you really have to plan your carry. I think carries that naturally want to build into an Assault Curse and a Vlad's are very strong, which I believe is why Joy KO banned out the Brewmaster and the Lycan as both, and the Centaur, I guess, as well. All of those want to build AC.
10 seconds to
maybe not only two of them Vlad's, but they all certainly have that potential.
5 seconds.
Yeah, shout out to Tyrannosaurus X. Woo, Dire hype. Yeah. That's fun. But Faceless Void banned out for the Dire. Again, another very, just like they're banning out combo heroes that are based around this Elder Titan. So Void, Chrono into Earth Splitter, Mystic Flare is, I mean, it's pretty easy to understand how that could be problematic. Not to mention you put that Spirit in there, get the natural order debuff on whoever the Void wants to go on, and it's a very effective combination. It's not super flashy, but at the same time, they played it very well last time, and they were able to execute, especially when they were down to a Naga Siren very early. And they ban out the Terrorblade, so they don't want to get ratted again. Naga's still in the pool, and they pick up the Ogre this time. Both of these heroes were taken from them. They didn't get either of them. They don't have the hero again this time, but I'm not sure if that's something they want. So we'll have to see what they want to go for. I'm assuming one of these three, the Elder Titan, Skywrath, and Ogre, are going to be cores. But I said that last time, and they were all kind of supportish. Didn't feel like any of their other heroes really went too far into that core build. But mostly just the PA. I guess the Zeus did. Zeus was their other core. But it's banned out this time. So we'll see if it's Skywrath or Ogre. Maybe it might even be the Elder Titan himself. Vengeful Spirit picked up, and that was actually on Joyko. They had it last time, so even more minus armor on top of the natural order. So looks like the Dyers, they're taking some tricks out of Joyko, trying to counter their strat with some picks here. And lots of times that can be a problem for a team because you end up picking yourself into a corner, like where you end up with these heroes that sure they're all decent heroes, but they don't do anything together. I don't think that's really the problem here. Jakiro, anytime you match up Jakiro with somebody else who has a stun, I think it's really solid. Liquid Fire is always good. Venge's Wave of Terror is always effective. The stun is really solid. The positioning ability with Nether Swap and then just the aura all of those are very effective, and they synergize well with pretty much any team. The lockdown for the Viper is good, as well as positioning in order to save them if they have to. And Venomancer is actually the pickup for Joyko. They're going all in on the magic damage, and Drow Ranger is the pick for the Dire, so they're going very much in on the physical damage. The right clicks from those three heroes are going to be very hard. Drow with Avenge is kind of scary. I wonder if they're going to go take it one step further, maybe pick up a Beastmaster, go full aura, or Luna, go full ranged aura. Dazzle is an option if they want to get some more minus armor in here, as well as just a very good hero with the Drow. You can keep her alive. Just the heal in general, I think, would be really good. Visage, I think that's a very smart ban. Anytime you see a Drow, you have to ban the Visage. So Slark is banned out from the side of the Dire. RKO that Visage. Last pick, Spectre. So, see, I don't know. I think that's a little risky. I mean, Spectre's a good hero at closing with the Drow late, remove that damage, but I don't think if you go that late, I don't think you want to go into that. I mean, sure, you'll have magic damage coming out like nobody's business, but it's going to be pretty scary. And now I think the Dire, they want to go for somebody who's going to build a pipe quickly. Chikiro and Viper both can. I don't think they will, but they kind of need an offlaner. Bristleback is very much an option right here, and I think he'd be alright. He's got some extra tankiness if he's facing the right direction, but he also just wants to build those items. He would struggle a lot in lane, so they probably won't. I'm just not sure what they're going to want to go for here. The other options coming out that I can think of off the top of my head are Tide. Oh no, he was. What am I kidding? His first ban. Gotta learn to pay attention. But I still think Bristleback is a decent option. Just because I don't think they want to go aggressive. But last time they did, and it was okay. They kind of went with aggressive dual lanes. Or sorry, that was Joyko. They kind of went with aggressive dual lanes. So I'm not sure if the Dire is going to want to do that. But we'll kind of have to wait and see. Just 45 seconds left before they're forced to choose. And I assume it'll be another range here to take advantage of that. Mirana is an option. Some setup, Chikiro, Ice Path, Venge, Stun. It can take out do a fair bit of magical damage. What else? I think Visage was probably what they wanted, and I mean, I'm not surprised it was banned. I think in that situation you can leave the Venge for the last pick and pick up the Visage and Drow kind of back to back.
10 seconds to go.
They're gonna go with Earthshaker. I have no idea how they're gonna be laning this then. If I knew the players a little bit more, I would be able to make a call. But we'll kind of have to wait and see. Soul, Venomancer, Cristino, Spectre. Run through the names in a moment here, but I guess they could probably go solo safe lane Drow, and then aggressive with their 3 stuns. I mean, I don't know. I think Earthshaker is a better defensive support, and so I'm not sure if you kind of sacrifice the Viper to the offlane, let the Drow take mid and go aggressive with that, or if it's just going to be like a solo offlane Jakiro again, like we saw in the last game. That said, it was a different team running it, but we'll have to wait and see. Game's actually paused here. Not sure what's going on here, but it gives me a moment to quickly run through the lineups before anyone's moving. Inside is going to be standing in on the Ogre Magi. And then we've got Cristino playing the Spectre. Soul is going to be handling the Venomancer. Relax on that Elder Titan. And Lost playing the Skywrath Mage. Now for the Dire, they're going to be... I'm just going to refer to that guy as TY because TY it. I don't even know. Coach Kane? Kane? No. Coach Kanye. Coach Kanye. Jeez, I can't read. It's late. Coach is going to be playing the Jakiro. Survive on the Earthshaker. Autism 2000 is going to be playing the Vengeful Spirit. Ice Rod should fucking retire is going to be playing the Drow Ranger. And we'll have to see what they want to go here. They haven't broken off so far other than Drow is going top. Viper looks like might be going to the... they're going to run solo Jakiro, it looks like. Okay, so solo Jakiro with the 2 defensive supports going up top. Elder Titan, probably solo safe, or solo off, sorry, with the boots of speed. Gonna be looking for that early rune. He'll probably be their off lane. Is the Veno coming up here? Maybe just gonna plant a ward or give ET a ward. Yeah, that's all it was. So he's going to be able to toss a ward out here. Not sure where he's going to want to put this, but we'll kind of have to wait and see. He's going to toss it up here, and this was not spotted out. They're defending their pole camp here. They do not want anyone to get in there. Lots of things being drawn to the map all over the place. Ogre Magi going to that solo safe lane. Hero has a nice ward out here. And while this is a really balling ward, it's really obvious to the other team when you have one. Because you'll back up when you see people up here, and if you see anyone rotate this way, you'll back up as well. So probably going to get dewarded fairly quickly. But we'll kind of have to wait and see. Spectre's actually going to be running the mid lane here up against a Viper, and I think that's a lane Spectre has a really, really hard time in. I don't think Cristino's going to enjoy that too much. That said, he was on the PA in the mid lane last game and played it very well, but it's just heroes that you more traditionally see in the off lane. And Viper with the threat of the orb is already zoning him back. That hurts. I guess if Lost is sitting here and they're going to dual lane mid, I think it'll work out okay. They'll be able to keep the Viper back. And this, I don't know, aggressive dual lane coming out will be alright as well. They'll be able to harass the Drow a fair bit, but in the end, not too much. Not until Venomancer's at least level like 3 or 4 and can has the second point in Plague Wards and a point in Poison Sting, depending on how he wants to lane it. To drop a sentry here, unfortunately, it's Ward's over there, so not going to be able to spot it quite. Tyrannosaurus, you trying to help me pronounce that guy's name? I'll try it next time I have to go talk about Viper. Jakiro's in the offlane though, up against this Ogre, is going to do a lot of work to this tower. 1 Liquid Fire and it drops just about 100 health. And I mean, that's level 1 Liquid Fire. He's going to keep just ranking it up, and it's going to be, I think, a sad day for that tower. Spectre is doing surprisingly well now that he's gotten some support from the Skyrath. The only downside is the lane is pushing very hard, but again, the mid, that doesn't matter as much, as it's going to bounce back very quickly, and the area for the creeps to be is very small. That isn't good. Basically, if it's up here, it's not great. Anywhere else is fine. And we're actually going to have Earthshaker being chased by Elder Titan. Staple Gun, and nope, that's it. Spectre getting a good amount of farm. Gonna be happy with that. Drow's matching him though. CS for CS up in the top lane. Handful more denies, but nothing too much. And I think going into the mid game, Survive and Autism are gonna have to be able to get a pick on one of these off laners, I think, at one point, and then they're golden. And speaking of that, their pings come out. They're gonna know that there's a ward around here somewhere. They have one more sentry to try and deward it, and they'll know that they were spotted. Yeah, look at how far back they're playing. They're going to tell that they have a ward. They ping it out. They think that it's over here. One ping comes out. We'll see where Shaker wants to put it. Kind of a big deal, I think, but not too sure. Elder Titan is looking to rotate around. He is level 2 as a point in natural order, but in the end, I don't know how much that's going to matter. This tower is slowly being chipped away. He's getting pinged out quite heavily from, I believe, the Venomancer. That would be the one he knows he's there. Venomancer has his boots, so he's not quite too scared. We'll have to see. Jakiro, gotta keep pushing this lane. But Elder Titan is going to rotate down, and Jakiro will have saw this, and is going to back up just in time. I don't think that tells that they have a ward there. I think all that does is say that Jakiro saw the ET probably around here, and doesn't give away that he's a ward. So it was nicely played by Coach. Gonna be able to back off. Viper dropping very low. Spirit comes out as well, but they're not going to look to go on him just yet. And I think this is actually really smart to rotate this guy out there. The Viper was forced into maxing corrosive skin, so he's not able to harass the Spectre all that much. And Spectre's been getting really solid farm here in the mid lane up against what I thought would have been a lost lane. So sitting at 17 and 4, doing all right. Drow though, denies City. Drow is sitting at 16 denies, 21 last hits. He has more denies than anyone but the Spectre has last hits in general, and is still ahead in last hits. It's very impressive play coming from him. Jakiro has that third point in Liquid Fire. They've got a Skywrath Mage rotating in onto him, so he's going to want to get it on this tower, get at least one in there. I don't think Skywrath Ogre can kill him. Maybe with the DD rune. They're able to position well. Get lots of right clicks off, but not too sure. The downside is this Earthshaker, level 1 still, has only a point in Fissure. And not able to make anything happen yet. Jakiro bottom. Oh, sorry. Terrible time for a yawn. Jeez, at least I caught it this time. Skywrath Mage and Ogre Magi, they're able to make it happen with that DD rune. They get the stun they need, slow him down with the Ignite and the Concussive Shot, and Jakiro pays the price. Was playing a little too aggressive, trying to get the Liquid Fire on that tower. So, not quite the way he had hoped this lane would go. Hoping to just be left alone here against the poor Ogre and fight fire with fire, as it were. But mid lane, there's a lot of people. Drew can drive and nothing really happened. Ice Path comes out. Just off. Unfortunate there, but with the Avenge here, he's got a little support. Going to be able to maybe get in range and drop a Liquid Fire. Oh. The value of Liquid Fire gets it on the tower and the Ogre, and that's dropping very quick. Meanwhile, mid lane, though, Skywrath Mage drops to the Viper. Earthshaker doesn't have another stun, and they're going to call that 1-for-1. So they get a support up in the mid lane. So good stuff for Earthshaker. He gets level 2 out of that. Has a point in Aftershock now. But still, it's just, he's so far behind. And Elder Titan drops top, but I think Drow might be in a tough place. One more right click and concussive. Oh, sorry, not concussive, Arcane Bolt. Venge with the stun, Wave of Terror, gets the return kill, and Skywrath just over-rotates a little bit there, or overcommits, sorry. That's 3 deaths on this kill chart? What? What is this? Either way, it's quickly a 4-for-1. They almost lose their Drow, but able to hold on in the end. The only kill being given up is by the Jakiro, who has got this bottom tower down to half life. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't even try to pronounce this Viper's name. I was like looking how it's spelled in Twitch chat, and no. Either way, Viper has an Invis bottled in his level 6. Very tanky with the max corrosive skin. Hard to go on him right now, but he's not that scary. Can still harass fairly well and be harassed, but I think it's starting to get to the point that Skywrath takes almost as much damage as he deals. I don't know, it's tough. Guys dropping slowly, just harassing. Drow is level 6 now. Leading last hit starts, has 34 and 20 at 7 minutes, so doing alright. Viper is next there, doing a good job, sitting at 31 and 12. And then it's the Jakiro, 27 and 3. So the Dire, they're leading the CS charts in all accounts, and this tower is going to be dropping very quick. He's liquid firing down the creep wave, get a macro pyre, and just bring it down, try and push that even quicker. Ogre's rotating around, gonna look for a multicast. Unfortunately, only had mana for the one ignite, so just gets that harass off. That tower is in deny range. Jakiro, he's gonna... Oh, how does he not get that? Oh! The denies, the club. Ice Path with the freeze time.
Hits.
That was a nice play coming out from inside, and he's going to make it away. He's going to be pretty low, but he should be all right. So, coach manages to get the tower down, but not able to get the kill. Haunt comes out from Spectre. Going to dagger forward. Ogre does not have a stun for a handful of seconds, unfortunately, and he's going to make it away. A little too far away. Didn't even have it. He was out of mana if he got around. And now they're going to lose their top tower. So, Joyko Rat, they're in a bit of a problem here. There's a lot of push coming out from the side of the Dire. Oh, Fissure. And that's a dead Venomancer. Drow cleans him up. Gets the tower kill as well. Off to a very strong start. Going for the Mass Wraithband build. I kind of like that. It lets you fight a little bit earlier. Doesn't tie up as much of your goal. Just kind of sitting there waiting to buy a big item. And overall just value stats. TY is pressuring the mid tower. Now Coach just showed up as well. So they're going to look to push it. Just push this one just the same. Macropyre comes out just to clear up the creep wave. And the Liquid Fire is going to force this tower to drop. Joyko, they're going to have to... They're in kind of the same position they were last time. They're bleeding towers. They're going to have to be able to make a comeback of some sort as far as map presence goes. But map control. Then inside, rotating through. He's going to run into Viper and a Drow, though, if he keeps on that path. Math just misses him. He pings them out. Throws out the Ignite, and they're actually going to want to go him. Gust comes out, followed up by the Viper Strike, and the Cold Arrows are just doing too much. Oh, no multicast. She's very low. Oh, Gale, just out of range. Only level 1, though, so it wouldn't have killed. Viper wants to go, though. Has that second point up in Poison Attack, doing a lot of damage. Nether Toxin doing a bit of work. Needs one more right-click. Unfortunately, not able to get it off. Venomancer is going to just live. Fissure, just off the mark. Jakiro has rotated in as well. Finds an Ice Path on the Spectre. Liquid Fire flying out as well, but Spectre's not going to drop. In the end, all they lose is their Ogre. And they managed to keep their Drow alive. They're going to bottle him up, and they might just look to push. I'm not too sure. What did Drow buy? Drow's got a Sage and Yasha. They're actually going to go in for Roshan. Max Ice Arrows, Frost Arrows, sorry. You can do this very quickly. And the Viper with the Poison Attack is going to keep Roche attacking very slowly, as well as the Max Corrosive Skin. Benj will be able to throw in Wave of Terror, and this is going to drop very quickly. It's a good play from them. And there's no sign of a rotation coming out from the side of Joyko Rat. So, and if they, depending on who they split the experience through, that's a level for all of them, I want to say. That's tough. Getting a Roshan that early, especially on the Viper, who's going to be all up in Joyko's junk, is very nice to have. Lets you just apply that extra pressure. And Viper isn't as farmed as the Drow, but, I mean, Drow is very farmed right now. Has a Yasha as well. 4-0, 62 last hits. He's in, Ice Rod is in a very happy place. And they're just going to start pushing down the mid lane. And this very early push is like very hard to deal with. They don't have Venomancer's ulti yet. He's still level 5. And this is when I think that it's going to be easiest for the Dire to push. Their carry is very strong right now, but like Spectre doesn't come online for a long time. Ooh, Viper gets hit. That hurts. Doesn't have all that much health. Does have the Aegis still, though. Doesn't want to lose it just to the harass. And they're going to get hit by the Spirit, and they're going to have to back off. Stomp gets... Oh, does land. Only a 2-second Stomp, though. Ogre is waiting off onto the wings. Ice Rod's going to start picking away at these wards. And no mech. Oh, nice bench stun. Fissure, unfortunately, blocks him off. Nice swap, though. Stand-in's going to drop. Doesn't get off the Fire Blast. Viper's going to be okay. Gale comes through. Only connects on the Earthshaker. Shakiro's looking for another Ice Path. Wave of Terror comes through. This tower, again, dropping low. One more. That Liquid Fire should be enough to drop it off. Oh, backdoor protection. Spectre does haunt, looking for a kill. Fissure cleans up all of the illusions. Viper is going to find a regen rune. Oh, no. Are they going to look to go? Oh, Drow's going to look to just push top. They're going to finish off that mid tower, though. Just a couple of them, it looks like. They just got to get their creeps in range, and it's going to be a goner. Unfortunately, Spectre's all the way bottom, so she can't get there to defend. She has a TP, though, but by the time she got there, the tower would already be gone. And Liquid Fire Fort is actually used. Nice Fissure from the high ground. Gets a stun on a handful. Ice Path comes through. Liquid Fire doesn't want to get denied again. Stomp. It doesn't matter. Drow's just off farming away all by himself. 1,300 gold in the bank. Already got a Yasha, 2 Wraithbands, Aquila, and Treads. He's got a ridiculous amount of damage already. Probably going to pick up a bit of lifesteal, maybe even just a Morbid Mask. Fissure comes out. Looks like it's just a harassing Fissure. And this Earthshaker's managed to catch up nicely. Now level 5. I believe at like 4 minutes, but still level 1. So, being a part of the kills in the team fight is actually helping him out rather than the group pushing, putting him further behind. Age is still online. How much time does it have left? It's got 2 minutes left, so they might be able to pressure this other tier 2. And I don't think anything has really changed. There's not a lot Joyko Rat can do. They're kind of just at the mercy of the push. Drow picks up a helm, so he's going to have some lifesteal as well as some more armor. Just a bit of sustain, but Jakiro's going to pressure this tower, and I think they have to go for trades here. I think they have to try and get this tier 1, even though it's a trading at a loss. At a certain point, you're losing more by trying to defend and failing than you are by just trading for a loss. And I mean, like, the tower's already gone. Jakiro's got a Yules now. They're going to go high ground. And I don't see that there's anything they can do. Liquid Fire comes out, already harassing. Drow's lifestealing away, getting healed up from the creeps, and just going to start chipping at the tower. She popped her armor? She did. Or at least this creep is in range, and this tower is going to be half down. Mechanism is up on Viper. He gets silenced, though. He's going to burn his Aegis here. It does go down. Drow gets the Skywrath Mage. Venomancer is dead as well. Aegis is going to pop. Drow is probably should be okay unless she's got another dot on him. No, he's going to be fine. Just the ulti. Gets mech'd up. Spectre dropping low, gets Viper struck, and that's going to be the end of the Spectre. And the Dire, they're pushing very strong here. I don't see... The Spectre has a buyback, but no Haunt. The Rax is already being threatened. I like this. Smart, going for the range Rax. Drow gets silenced. Or, sorry, stomped. They can't get in range. Oh! Skywrath Mage gets blown up. And the, oh, Venomancer manages to just live. I think this is going to be... They're going to feed some kills here, maybe? Depends how much damage they manage to do. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem enough. Coach Kane, Gagne, very strong right now. None of his team is going down. And, well, they don't get the ranged racks, but, I mean, they've already taken a tier 2, tier 3. Stun comes out onto whom I didn't see. Venomancer is dead still. Jakiro pays for staying behind. Looks like he was trying to keep his team alive. And it's a very strong early push coming out on the side of the Dire. Wish they had a team name. If anyone knows this team's name, please let me know. Ice Rod's just going to go push bottom, and he's got 2,200 gold in the bank. Can buy literally whatever he wants. His gold per minute is almost 600, 577. He's got 100 last hits at 15 minutes. And I think they go almost like once everybody's back up, they just group top again and push and just chip away that, like, 1 liquid fire, 2 liquid fires, that tower's gone. Or a liquid fire and a couple clicks from the Drow. There's not a lot they can do about it. They might just try and split push it out, though, and take on this tier 2, as it seems the Viper and the Drow want to do right now. But she's already giving 51 damage to everybody, and if she activates her R, that's the range creeps as well. Which, I mean, doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you're pushing this early, it's very strong. And there's no glyph for a minute. And this is a lost tower. They're going to have to try and trade again. Just look to try and push and take this tier 1. They weren't able to take bottom one last time. And tier 2 is already down. The push coming out right now is just too strong from the Dire. Ice Path is going to come up. Liquid Fire and a couple of Drow shots. Tower's already down. 1/5 of its health. 1/4 of its health. Like, it's just kind of the same story. Drow gets caught with a stomp. GD on the Viper doing so much work right now as well. For those of you that don't know, Nether Toxin affects towers at half effectiveness, and they want to gank the Spectre. Hopefully Spectre's paying attention. Gonna dagger away, but that's right into a ward. So we'll have to see what they want to do. Coach is trying to chase. Spectre's got another dagger up in 6 seconds. Haunt's out, and that's gonna warp back to the Earthshaker. Oh, gets the Fissure. Unfortunately on the wrong side. Ice Path. Does he have a Yules? Is it going to be in range? He's faster. Oh, gets the Yules. Ice Path to follow up, and I think this is the end of Spectre. And because they've got creeps just behind them, they can clear out this wave. That's top racks. Spectre doesn't have a buyback. And the rest of her team, they got to land everything just so. They have to get like a huge Venom ulti into an eventual Earth Splitter
Radiant's top rags ain't gonna last
in order to win this fight. Like, they're going to need to land all of their spells just perfectly. And I think it's going to... I'm not sure if they really can do it. Like, they're too scared to fight into it, which is fair, because I mean, you fight into this and lose, you've lost the game already. But if you don't, you lose your top racks. And I don't know if they're at 18 minutes if they can even hold again down one lane of racks. And they're just gonna look to keep pushing. Slow siege behind the creeps, clear out these smaller buildings, get the gold, maybe back off now the Spectre's back up, but mid lane is open now. And Viper, look at him, he doesn't even care. He's just gonna slowly take away these buildings as they were. And we'll see. Coach throws out another liquid fire. Looks like he missed, unfortunately. And Ice Rod just chipping away. Taking some decent damage, though, underneath the natural order. Ice Path, come out, keeping him safe. Ooh, that hurts. Mech is up on the Viper. Oh, actually, it's not. It's on cooldown. But they have it as well. And Drow's going to be able to just walk away. Going to go lifesteal up some creeps in the jungle. Heal up a little bit here. And do they want to re-engage on this? I'm not too sure. And the other thing they can do now is because the Radiant has to commit all of their heroes to sitting on and defending the Dire, they can just rotate to the bottom lane and push it in like that. And with the top wave being pushed in from the aggressive swap comes out from Autism 2000, that quickly blows up the Ogre. Echo Slam comes out. They get the Venomancer as well. His ulti did go off. I believe it only connected on a handful of Venge. Oh, is going to survive. The ulti not being fatal. That last tick of Poison Sting, not quite enough. Or came too quick. Came before he was within death range from the ulti. But he's going to make it out. And they're going to back. They're not going to pressure it. And I think they're going to do what I was thinking and just push bottom. I think there's a question coming out in Twitch chat. I think they went Earthshaker in order to provide the more control. I mean, they have a lot of slows and whatnot, but Earthshaker just holds people in place, and there's not a lot you can do about it. Like, if you get fissure blocked, you're screwed. More so than if you can maybe run up high ground and get around a corner kind of thing. Like, I think it was a good pick, and I think any of the range shows that might have been worked well. Might have been a little too aggressive, or just not have the control they wanted. Plus, it's good setup for the Jakiro. I mean, I don't see why not. And they're just going to slow siege bottom. And I think Spectre's probably having a tough time trying to push out this top lane. He does have his ulti and a mechanism. Not too often that you see a Spectre with a mech. Ogre, do you have a TP? He does not. He's going to start getting back to base. Uh-oh. Ogre's caught way out. They're going to be on the tower in moments here, buddy. There's a ways to go until Ogre's back. Stomp's going to buy them a little bit of time, but unfortunately not a lot. Liquid Fire comes out, and Drow's just going to run up high ground. With the Venge, 22 minutes in, Drow's hitting for over 300. Like, this is their melee barracks down. Ogre is now back. Has an invis room, so they're not going to see him. Earthshaker doesn't go yet. Has a Blink Dagger as well, so going to look for that big echo in 11 seconds. Viper Strike comes out. Blink forward by the Earthshaker. Nice fissure. Gets 2 with it. Spectre ulti comes through. They lose their Earthshaker. No one yet. The Jakiro goes down as well. Spectre does drop. Buyback is available. Aegis is popped on the Drow, but this is their range Drax. Finish off one more click. There it is. Catapult gets the kill. Echo Stomp's going to come out, and that's going to be it. I mean, unfortunately, there's just not a lot you can do. They're going to back off. Roche is not going to spawn up for a long time. They were able to use that one a little more effectively, but what does Drow have coming out for her now? She's already got a BKB and now has a Manta style. She's just gonna walk up the hill. Unfortunately, with Joy, the amount of time that needs to be bought for Joy right now is actually absurd. They're going to have to take this to like 99 minutes if they want to win. And I know that sounds incredibly difficult, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I think that's what they have to do. Spectre has to somehow get farmed. I mean, Mechanism into what I assume is a Blade Mail? That is not the kind of farm you want on a Spectre. And I mean, he had okay CS in lane, but they just didn't have an answer for all this push. They had a lot of magic damage that comes out in the mid game once they've all got like a level 11 and an item or two. And I think if they had gotten to that point, their lineup would have been very scary. But this early aggression just couldn't be handled by them. They didn't have any way to counter push per se. Like Venomancer can kind of hold off a slowish push, but the siege is coming out very, very strong and very pressured, and they're not deterred by the wards at all. And I mean, Jakiro's now has a pipe. Like once he goes high ground with this thing, it's gonna be pretty rough. Veno does not have his ulti for 20 seconds. Ice Path's gonna come through, Macropyre as well, and just there goes the creep wave. Catapult drops as well, and Liquid Fire not going up on the tower yet. Viper's just gonna walk up there, has a DD rune bottled and his eggs and a mech. That's the mid tier 3, and our Splitter's gonna come out, but I don't think this is really gonna do any damage. Hardly even hurts the Hellbear that's been dominated by the Drow. And Soul goes down. Echo Slam comes out. They're going to make him fight it out. Survive is going to drop after the 2 kills. Ogre's going to make it out. Mega Creep's not quite yet. Haunt was used. And that's Megas at 24 minutes in. Going to clean up the wards probably. Clean up all these small buildings and just push. Spectre somehow ended up all the way out there. Ogre gonna get Ice Path. Lost calls GG. And good game, well played comes out. So, the Dire, because they don't have a team name, like I wish I knew what these guys were called, but they're gonna take it. So they win the first week of the Dota 2 Canada Weekly Cup. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, couldn't have been possible without. I forgot to put those overlays back up. Jeez. Life is hard. Couldn't have been possible without the sponsor Xfire, and thanks guys for tuning in. If you're interested in it, you can message me. I can give you the link to sign up for it as well, or if you want, you can. I'm just laughing at Twitch chat. That's just a very strong performance from Joyko. Wait, what? From the Dire. If you enjoyed the cast and you want to catch more of Dota 2 Canada Weekly Cup, you can follow me on Twitter or here on Twitch. I'll be letting you know. Also, if you wanted to watch the previous game, it will be uploaded as well as this one to the YouTube channel. But one last shout out to Xfire and Dota 2 Canada Weekly Cup. I am at Wolf Dota. Thanks for tuning in.